Right, this is a quick walk around video for a Honda CR-V. This is a 2.2 EX diesel. It's a fantastic example, and I'm not just saying it, this car's only done 38,000 miles, which is scarcely believable, were it not for the fact it's had just the one owner and a full Honda history that comes with it. And the condition of the car supports it beautifully. It is in absolutely fantastic condition. There are a couple of really minor blemishes on the car which I'll show you, but they are minuscule. Front of the car here, lights, lenses completely intact. There are cracks or condensation in there. Bumper corners really good, there's no marks on there at all. Bonnet of the vehicle clean as a whistle, no stone chipping at all that I can see. Bumper corner on this side, again completely scuff free. And then just go down, panel work is absolutely mirror smooth. Front wing unmarked, alloy wheel on the front here, really good. This is the only marks I can see on the car apart from one of the other alloys, I think. A couple of tiny little blemishes on one of the spokes there, a couple of the spokes, but I should point out as well, Dunlop tyres are matched all around on the vehicle. It's got a full set and very good tread on them as well. Panel work, as you can see here, really clean. Rear alloy, I can't see a mark on that one at all. And if I just come back here again, just to show you just how clean that panel work actually is, it is truly remarkable. Come around the back of the car, again clean as a whistle. Can't see any marks on the back of the vehicle at all. And then off side of the car, as with the near side, pretty much blemish free, just can't see anything obvious on there at all to report back to you, and I do try to do so. If I miss something, I apologise, it's not by intent or design, I really do try. Alloy again on the side, clean as a whistle, nothing on there at all. And then carrying down the panel work, it's just unbelievably clean, and we've just washed this off, there's been no polish on this vehicle at all. And then final alloy, again very clean indeed. So, I mean, externally, you know, you'd have to be incredibly fussy to pick at any fault of any note on that car. That's in absolutely stunning condition. Coming to the boot area here, as you can see, the car comes with its full complement of equipment, tonneau cover, middle shelf, everything there and intact. Tonneau cover, just obviously just pop that back and drop it down, and then as the seats, you can put the seats backwards and forwards, and this rolls back and forwards with them as well. This centre shelf, you know, if you see my other videos, you'll know that I really have no idea what on earth it's for, but there we are. Generally speaking, I pop mine away in the garage or in the recess. It'll carry up to 10 kilos on top safely, but if you notice down there, the recess there is shaped the same as this up here, so it will just slot down into that space there if you want it to. But the plastics and carpeted areas are in absolutely stunning condition. So the near side rear door card all looks absolutely beautiful, hardly a mark on there at all. Back of the seats are in perfect condition, not always the case on CR-Vs, quite often kicked and skagged by sort of kids' feet. Door card on that side again, absolutely clean as a whistle. Worth pointing out, there is a full set of original Honda mats for the car. They've been cleaned actually, so that's the only thing I took out to give it a good clean. They weren't dirty, but I'd like to give those a clean, I always have done. And they're in very good condition as well, almost as new. Leatherwork in the back here, absolutely stunning. I mean, it's huge amounts of rear legroom in these CR-Vs. Just worth pointing out as well to you, hopefully if you don't already know, underneath here, this little bar got on both sides, you just pop that, lift that up as you would do on a seat runner, and the seat will go forward about good 7 or 8 inches. Driver's door card, as with the others, in wonderful condition. Footwell areas, as I said, just minus the mats which have been cleaned. Again, clean as whistle, even the carpets underneath are absolutely stunning. Driver's seat again, really lovely condition. As you know, it's still a 10-year-old car, but it's, you know, it's the condition the vehicle's in. Looking up above our head, we've got the lovely big glass panoramic roof there. Lets a lot of natural light into the vehicle. It's really lovely, especially with the darker interiors. And then passenger seat there, It's absolutely pristine. It hardly looks like it's ever been sat on. So sat in the car now, the engine's running as it has been all the way through. Dashboard looks almost as new. I mean, it really is in astonishing condition. It is amazing. So you can see there, sat nav, fully functional. Pop it into reverse there. Lovely clear parking camera as well. All the cubby holes, even those top ones, they're just, hardly look as though they've ever been used. Gear lever gaiter and the gear lever absolutely pristine. It's a repeating theme, I'm afraid, but I've got to say it. Heated seats all work exactly as they should. All the little cubby holes, as I said, been kept in really fine order. This is one of the easiest cars I've ever had to clean. As you can see there, 38,533 miles, no warning lights in the vehicle at all. Steering wheel, obviously, no wear. Auto lights, auto wipers, and all the switch gear is all but perfect. Just quickly show you, very important but often overlooked, we've got the full owner's manual pack for the car and the navigation system in the vehicle, and the original lock and wheel nut set does come with the car. So finally, under the engine bay here, as you'd expect from Honda, beautifully presented engine bay. These are brilliant engines, no cam belts on them, cam chain driven, so no big services looming, and most importantly in this day and age there's no DPF filters on them either, which is causing chaos for the trade and owners alike. The engines always sound a lot noisier on video than they do when you physically stood here, by the way. What should follow now will be a road test of this very car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel. This particular car is registered KM57ZGC, and the mileage at the start of this road test, which is scarcely believable, 38,534 miles. The reason we do the road tests is very simple. The internet is brilliant for searching for exactly this type of car, something that's a little bit rarer, something with this kind of ownership and mileage. The problem is, of course, that if you set off sometimes for hours to go and see a car and there's a clear and fundamental fault with the car which would have stopped you setting off, it would be nice to have known about it before doing it, and that's why we do the videos. We've been on the receiving end ourselves of that, and we feel it's right that customers should see the cars in operation on a fairly lengthy test drive, and I can feed back as much information as I can about the car, good, bad or otherwise. It's rare that there is anything wrong on the cars on test drive, but if there is, as I've done in previous videos, I will tell you. So also, sorry, just point out the roads we're driving on, or I'm driving on today, are exactly the same roads, the same test drive route as any prospective buyer will go on. The reason I do it is obviously that hopefully you will feel what I'm feeling when you're driving the car. So starting with the car, I mean, as you'll know from the advert, it's an extraordinary vehicle in lots of ways. Not only is it low mileage, but it's just had one lady owner from new, so privately owned. She's had it serviced, I think it was 9 times by the Honda dealers. Last one was done only about I think it was 4,000 or 5,000 miles ago. Even though it wasn't due a service, we have actually serviced the vehicle ourselves. Oil was really good, there's virtually no need to do it, but we just like to make sure things are absolutely right. And the car tomorrow will be going through a brand new MOT, which is done independently of us. We don't feel it's right to do your own MOTs. But the car itself, engine starts absolutely instantly, as you'd expect, and given such a low mileage, you'd expect it to be a good engine, and it certainly is. There's no warning lights on the dashboard. Temperature gauge is running at 1/3, which is exactly where it should be on the car. But it's smooth, it's quiet, it idles perfectly. There's no strange noises coming from the engine in any way, shape or form. Feels exactly what it is, which is a very low mileage car. Engine then feeds through clutch into gearbox. Clutch on the vehicle, smooth, quiet in operation. Bite point is exactly where you'd want it to be on the clutch pedal travel, and it bites beautifully, it engages beautifully. It's exactly as it should be. Gearbox in the vehicle, classic Honda gearbox, brilliantly done. 6-speed gearbox. Gear change is absolutely superb. It's almost impossible to get lost. You use your fingertips, let the springing of the gears do it for you. So when you're sort of 6th to 5th, you hold the lever, 5th to 4th, you just let it find its own way there, and it does, and it's just so easy to use. But what it isn't is lifeless and horrible and detached. It's got a meatiness, a quality, and a feeling of engineering in it, which I absolutely adore. Point of the video, of course, is to pick up on any issues there might be with the gear change, linkage or otherwise, and there's nothing. It feels absolutely as new, as does the rest of the powertrain. So engine, clutch, gearbox, absolutely spot on. Steering of the vehicle, really tight, taut. I love this generation car with its steering. It's old school, proper hydraulic power steering. It's none of this electric power steering, you know, which is as good as it can be. Still isn't as good as this. This is brilliant, and it matches perfectly with the chassis of the vehicle. So it's not slovenly in its responses, but it's not too darty for passengers. You know, sometimes a quick rack can be great, but it can just be a bit jolting for those who are sitting there not anticipating when it's going to be turned. But there's no wear in it. I can't find any wear in it there at all. Suspension of the vehicle likewise, which is why I go up this section of the road and talk about it at this moment. This is quite a sort of a potted bit of road, so if there's any sort of knocks or bangs going to come up or permeate through the cabin, it'll come up through here. What I'm hearing is the suspension working, which is exactly right, but I'm not hearing any secondary noises, metallic little clunks or bangs, which is normally things, you know, relatively innocent things, sort of anti-roll bar links, drop links, that kind of stuff, but it's all in very fine order. Suspension of the vehicle is brilliantly judged as well, by the way. It's very smooth, but it's not stupidly soft, because I mean, the problem with ride comfort is it's really subjective. You know, you can have a very comfortable car in a straight line, but when it comes to the corners, that means that they tend to keel over and wallow about, which means that through the corners the car becomes actually very uncomfortable, especially for passengers, especially on taller cars like this. Body control on these is absolutely extraordinary. It's really good, even at higher speeds. I've had loads of them. My kids are prone to travel sickness and they've never suffered from it in the CRVs. It really is, it just takes tighter turns, long sweeping bends in its stride. So I'm just quickly checking the cruise control as well. Works perfectly. Also, maximum speed limit on the road, all very quiet and hushed in here. Then again, that suggests things like sunroof, windscreen, door seals, all in very good order indeed. Just going to give the brakes a bit of a sharp jab, and there's a nice solid brake pedal there. I did notice on the back that it looks like it's had very recent discs and pads fitted on the back of the car, so, and the fronts are very good as well, so it doesn't surprise me that the pedal feels as good as it does. Looking around inside the car, two things. One, you can't get it across in the video just how solid these cars feel. It feels a heavy, substantial car to drive, but in a good way. It feels planted, solid on the road, secure, but it also feels just beautifully built. There's a 10-year-old car, regardless of mileage. There's not a hint of a creak or a buzz from the trim of the interior. It all looks, I mean, it looks pretty much as new in here. It's in a beautiful condition. They're lovely dashboards to sit behind as well. Your driving position is dead straight ahead. There's nothing with your legs pointing one way and your arms going the other. You've got a nice high up, easy to use, relatively old-fashioned sat nav by dint of its years, I guess, but it's all working exactly as it should. But it's the display's at just the right height, which I really do like. Down below that, we've got a dual zone climate control system, so you can have slightly different temperatures side to side, and it is pumping out lovely cold air as well through there. Steering wheel feels lovely and just like new in my hands, in all honesty. The binnacle in front of me, all the gauges working exactly as they should. Dead simple, classic Honda dashboard really. Just, you know, it's just, they've got plenty of equipment in here, but it's not showy. It's just really nicely done. It's legible, you can take the information in really quickly and simply, but it just all makes driving a real pleasure in these things. Obviously you've got auto lights and auto wipers on here. Again, that all works exactly as it should as well. For those that don't know, these cars run what's called intelligent four-wheel drive, or real-time four-wheel drive as Honda used to call it. It's really brilliantly simple. I mean, Honda very quickly worked out that most people who are buying this type of car will be doing this kind of driving just on normal roads, where four-wheel drive just isn't needed, or it's hardly needed at all. It's only as and when it requires four-wheel drive will it do it for you. You don't switch it, you don't press any buttons, you don't engage it, disengage it. It basically senses the front wheels starting to spin, rear wheels will be activated automatically, and you just get this surge of grip. It's an amazing sensation. I mean, I use these for towing caravans, and I've been on some very wet pitches, and I've never got close to getting stuck with one. It's a clever system, which is also utterly reliable. We've never had an issue with one, ever, and we've sold literally thousands of them now. Obviously the benefit clearly is the fact that you're not chewing up your tyres, you're not whirring mechanical bits that aren't required to be used at any given time, so the mechanical wear is lessened, and obviously it minimises fuel use as well, so it's a win-win situation. I mean, the fact is, if you're cross-shopping this, if you've got a heart set on a Honda, yeah, it's a great car. If you're cross-shopping against other cars, there's other good cars out there, but I don't think anyone has a package, especially on the used market, when you're looking at cars of this age, that's anything like as good as this car. This is the most reliable car in its class, without a shadow of a doubt, across the years. It drives as well as any. I possibly could argue that an X-Trail or a RAV4 might be slightly more dynamic to drive, but they're not as comfortable to drive, especially for family. X3s, I've said before, I can't abide the things, do apologise. I had one, hated it. On roads like this, it rattled your fillings out. I couldn't stand the thing. Lovely to look at, and on a straight road it's great fun, but apart from that, no. And also reliability was just shocking. When you're looking at other manufacturers, you're looking at possibly Volkswagen, I don't know, whoever else makes them, but basically we're looking at a manufacturer car that just doesn't have the same sort of issues that other manufacturers have. It's not to say they don't go wrong, because they do. Even Hondas go wrong occasionally, but it's just the fact that they go wrong far less often than other manufacturers, but they're also lovely to drive and fantastic to own. Now, as I said at the start, the video is to highlight any issues with the vehicle. I can't find a single thing on this car that I've tried thus far that merits a mention. It's a wonderful car that's in stunning condition. If I've missed anything on the video, please do call us and I'll happily answer any questions you might have.